Ready with me? Wow. I tell ya, the tea, because it's hot. So first and foremost, I don't know where to start at, but I'm going to start from the very beginning, and I'm not going to drag this story out, and I'm going to just leave out irrelevant stuff, because, yeah. So, I was messing with this guy in 2018. So, in the beginning, it was just like, it wasn't a relationship when I first met him. We didn't get into a relationship until, like, I want to say a month later, because he constantly kept on asking me, hey, can you be my lady, da 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 da. Y'all know how that go. So I was just like, okay, yeah. So we got together. Things was going smooth, like, mind you. He, like, the way I met him was crazy. Let's start there. We vibing, you know, doing relationship stuff and all this other stuff. And I was finally in a stage, and I felt like I was finally in a relationship where didn't nobody know him. Like, nobody knew him. Nobody could be like, oh, when you go introduce them to people, you know how when y'all introduce people, your significant other to other people, and they be like, oh, I know you, I seen you before. Everybody always has a story to tell. So I feel like, boom, I finally got somebody that nobody freaking knows. I felt like, oh, I had a real private relationship because nobody knew him. Nobody had stories to tell me about him. Nobody literally had no stories to tell me about him. And I was just like, oh, finally felt at ease, because, yeah. So then, one day, I remember him asking me how I knew this girl. Now, I was like, oh, I know her because, like, she related to such and such. Like, she been around for a long time. You know how friends become family. So she practically was family. She was practically family because of one of my best friends. So, yeah, she's practically family. She been around me my whole life. So I was like, yeah, that's how I know her. He was like, oh, that's his goddaughter. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's nice. Mind you, hold on, I left out a part. This why I don't like telling stories, because, man, I be all over the place. So I left out the part where, after I said, like, oh, I finally found somebody that nobody knew. I started feeling like that, and then right after I started posting him on social media, I started feeling like that. And then that's when he asked me, like, how I know such and such. And then I told him, or whatever the case may be, we got that out the way. So eventually, the goddaughter comments on one of our pictures, because, again, I ended up posting him again, and she commented, and she was like, oh, that's such and such. Now I'm like, because now I'm getting annoyed. Honestly, I'm getting annoyed, because why do y'all know him? Why? So now I'm literally getting annoyed, because, yeah, why do you know him? Like, so I was like, but I shouldn't have been surprised, because the girl literally knows everybody. But that's besides the point. So I was like, yeah, how you know such and such? Even though I already knew, because he told me. And I was like, she was like, oh, that's my godfather. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then she's like, oh, I'm so happy for y'all, blah, 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 all this stuff. And the whole time, her aunt was fucking him. Before we get to that, so she's like, blah, 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 I'm so happy for y'all, da, da, da. So I'm like, thank you, cool. She goes, so eventually her birthday comes up. And mind you, his goddaughter ain't no stranger to me. Like, we was real cool. Like, literally real cool. Like, real cool. Like, real, like, friends turn family shit on some real shit. So eventually that year her birthday comes. I go to her house for her birthday, and we hanging out, chilling, you know, vibing, getting lit, all that. Her aunt was there, of course. So we vibing, chilling, or whatever. But first off, so when I first got to her house, she was on the phone with my man. The goddaughter was on the phone with my man. Yeah. I thought that was a red flag, but... And the only reason why I thought that red flag, y'all gotta go watch my YouTube video. I got a whole YouTube video about him. And then maybe y'all come back to this story and y'all understand why I said that was a red flag. So, that was a red flag. And then, so we vibing, we chilling. So, I don't know how the hell he came about in the conversation. Oh, yeah, because the goddaughter was saying something. Because somebody, I can't remember because I was kind of lit that day. Like it was my birthday. So, we was sitting at the table where we was talking. And she was like, oh, I said something. And she was like, oh my God, you act just like, she mentioned my man's name. So, I was like, oh, okay. Because it's irrelevant to why his name came up because it was not important. It was something that, I said something and she was like, oh, you sound just like him, basically. So then her aunt was like, you got a man? Listen, at that moment, we already lit. I can't remember if the aunt was drinking, but we already lit. And I was just like, but in the back of my head, I'm lit all, but the shit is lingering in the back of my head with the aunt saying, you got a man? Like, the aunt follows me on social media and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. So I found it so freaking crazy. And I was just like, yeah, then I show her, then I was like, okay, let me pull out the picture, because, girl, I know you seen it on social media. And she was like, so, she goes, oh. And I think she said, oh, he's handsome or something like that. So, at that point, I'm like, because I was so confused. Like, the aunt follows me on social media. She's probably going to see this video. They both are going to see this video and know exactly who I'm talking about. Them. And I was just so confused because, alright, she trying to blow my drunkenness away or something. I don't know what the fuck she was trying to do. But that was a red flag. So, let's fast forward to October. Because that was September of her birthday. So, I've been thinking about it for that long. Like, oh my, and I was like, alright, I'm going to hit the goddaughter up. And I'm going to ask her, like, it was just a suspicion. I don't know. Promise you, when your gut is telling you something, always believe your gut. Always believe your gut. I promise you, always believe your gut. So I was like, basically, at this point, I was like, I got the screenshots, but I'm not gonna post them. I'm trying to leave names out of this as possible. But y'all know I don't have no problem dropping names. But yeah. So I messaged the goddaughter and I was like, basically let me ask you something because I felt kind of funny. Like I was thinking about it for like mad long. Like, why the hell did she, like, why did your aunt, I didn't say your aunt. I was like, so quick question, why did auntie act like she didn't know I had a man, or she didn't know who my man was? And you literally was on the phone with him when I came in the house. And she was like, oh, maybe she was drunk or something. Da 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 da. You know, auntie, all this other stuff. And I'm just like, no. No, I don't. Now, mind you, I done been around auntie like a couple times. But I don't think we never really hung out like we did on the goddaughter birthday. So... I was like, basically, I just got straight to the point. Do they have any dealings, or did they have dealings before that, like, was they in a relationship? Basically, I was trying to figure out, did they mess around before, or was they messing around? So she was like, no, no to none of your questions, no, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, cool. I even asked him, he said no. Okay, cool. But honestly, in my instance was telling me they did, but I couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't find evidence to prove it, basically. And I feel like as that being a second red flag, I know I fucked up by continuing the relationship. Then it was a third red flag. Let's go into, because 2018, after October was a bad month for me. So let's go into 2000. Basically, because when it gets to October, you know the year is almost over. So fast forward to 2019. I wrote some Facebook posts. I can't remember exactly what Facebook post I wrote, but it had something to do with pregnancy. And the auntie, she got under my post and she was like, who pregnant? So now that's red flag number 3, because, sweetie, I didn't forget the shady shit you said at your house. So I'm like, so then I'm like, I forgot exactly how I responded. And then I probably said, girl, what? Like, I probably said, y'all, if y'all know me, y'all know I said something. I don't know. I don't know if I said something crazy or I just said something like to keep it cool on Facebook. So then she responds, the auntie responds again to my comment, and she like, oh, it's me. Basically, it was the goddaughter on the page. But the red flag was, girl, you got your own page. Why are you on your aunt page? I knew, I don't care what nobody say. It was never the goddaughter on the page. It was the aunt. And this is literally the point of my story. It was the aunt. So, I'm not making no part 2. So, yeah. That was a red flag for me. And that made me ask him again, like, sir, you sure you don't have no relationships with... First off, at this point, I was like, you sure you don't got no relationship with the goddaughter or the auntie? Because, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't, I honestly, I don't know how you have a, all right, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you like 36, how do you have a goddaughter that's 34, 35? Did she just become your goddaughter as y'all got older or something? Like, I don't know how that works, but I know that my godparents are old as fuck. That's all I know. But anyway, that's besides the point. So I was just like, and he kept on saying, no. So I was just like, something not right. But my dumb ass kept on going along with the relationship. Going along with the relationship. I don't want to tell y'all too much because I want y'all to go watch my YouTube video so y'all can see exactly why I broke up with him. As fuck. So, basically, I don't know if the aunt was cool with him getting a new girlfriend. Me? Because, sweetie, basically, they knew him before I did. That's why I said it was like no introduction, because they knew him before I knew him. And that's where it had me stuck at, because girl, because auntie, if you've knew him before me and you still was messing with him when I came in the picture, girl, you not a girl's girl at all. At all. So I found it kind of weird because I was just, I promise you that's weird. So let's fast forward to September 29th, 4:41 a.m. So I was just chilling, and I was like, dang, I never found out if they really was messing around. Because I felt like they really was. And I felt like they really was, and I don't know, maybe she didn't give a freak that I came into the picture, and It didn't bother her. But I felt like, girl, it probably did bother. I felt like it did bother her because you thought I didn't have a man. So at that time, now that I'm looking back, and I done investigated this whole thing on the 29th of September, 2024. Basically, when she was throwing off those shady comments, she was basically saying it was our man. What has me messed up is the betrayal between me and the goddaughter. Girl, you literally used to live with me. You literally been there for me through a lot of stuff. So when I was asking her, I felt like she could have been woman enough to say, yeah, they had some dealings, or yeah, they going through something. Because, girl, you seen the shit I've been through. Why the freak do you want to put? Why? If you seen everything I've been through, why do you want to? I don't know. So, yeah, don't like both of them. Cutting both of them off. Well, I really ain't. I only tolerated the aunt because of the goddaughter or whatever the case may be. And like I said, the goddaughter been around me my whole life. like we was real cool. This is why I felt like comfortable enough to ask her, like, is your aunt because I will move myself from the situation. It's not a problem. In 2018 we were still fresh. It's not a problem. So I didn't have no problem moving myself from the situation. I think where I messed up at, I should have just kept him where he was at. Meaning, I should have said no when he kept on persisting that we be in a relationship. That should have been a red sign. But you know, you live and you learn. We all do stupid, fucked up shit. So let's talk about September 29th. So I was looking and searching, doing some research or whatever, and I seen that he had wished her happy birthday. Her birthday was in June. Wait, we got together 2018. Her birthday was in June 2018. And I seen that he wished her happy birthday. He just said happy birthday, love. And better yet, I seen that he wished a lot of people happy birthday. I don't know exactly why God wanted me to see this, but I think God wanted me to see this because everything that's in the dark always comes to light. I feel like that's why God wanted me to see this now, and he didn't want me to see it back then, because I can't even imagine if I would have saw it back then, how I would feel or what I would have did. So he wished a lot of people happy birthday. He wished the auntie a happy birthday, and she responded, "Thank you so much, baby. You made my day. I love you." So that's why I made that video. Like, basically, imagine, like, y'all seen the video I made. Just go back to it. So you mean to tell me it was our man? Okay, thank y'all for watching. I'm done. I mean, if y'all got questions, I'll respond to it in a video. But yeah, later.